If you want to stay up to date with all current hip hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to become part of this community. The day has come that a lot of you guys, me myself included, have been waiting for the past couple of weeks, or more specifically over the past 4 to 5 weeks, since we're talking about Logic's Bobby Tarantino III. He just announced it, gave us the official release date and the cover art, so let's go over everything we know about this new Logic album. Starting off, I made a lot of videos about this thing leading up to its release, most recently just a couple of days ago, talking about my worries about this release, since the singles he's released so far for it are all over the place. We have that usual, trap, boom trap sound with Vaccine, which was the first single that dropped, and then after that, it was kind of all messy with that My Way track, then that Call Me, that Get Up track, even though I love that Get Up track, but then My Way was just kind of indie rockish, and then Call Me was again like a rapping singing thing, which in the past we've never really seen on these Bobby Tarantino mixtapes, more so on his album. So I was really worried about what the content of this thing was going to look like. Also the fact that he dropped that intro track before that Vaccine track, but the intro track is supposedly not on the record but rather for another project, which was all very weird, and we just didn't know what was going on with the singles. And in that video I talked about how he released a new single every Friday for 5 weeks. And Logic ain't no Russ that does this thing regularly. This is the first time that he's ever used this strategy of dropping every week in anticipation for a new project. And so I was really worried that all of these were going to be on the tape. We still don't know if all these are on the tape because we don't have the track list yet, but we do know a couple of more things about this that I'm going to talk about today, because Logic officially took to social media to announce this new thing, saying Bobby Tarantino III out everywhere Friday. And by Friday, he's of course saying July 30th, which is very soon, and of course that has a lot of Logic fans excited since this is in just 2 days, So we're getting a new Bobby Tarantino tape, the third one, on Friday with all new tracks. He again used that Vaccine track in the trailer that also dropped with this announcement on social media. The trailer again looks amazing. The trailer and the cover art is again done by Sam Spratt, who's also done a lot of his, I think exclusively all of his past cover art ever since, the albums, I think. So this is, again, amazing art by him. I want to talk about the album cover in a second. I always say album. This is more like a mixtape, but Logic himself said that it doesn't really matter because nowadays everything is both. So it really doesn't matter. It's a commercial mixtape, maybe a album. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, the animation that dropped with the cover is amazing too. One thing that was very interesting is that he turned the number 3, he used the Roman letters for it, like 3 eyes, and he turned them in the same way that he also used back when Everybody dropped, and he wanted to say that that's his third album, but also he can kind of turn those 3 eyes and make it look like an E for Everybody. So that was the whole thing going on back then. He even has these 3 eyes, or E, or whatever you want to call it, how you want to interpret it. Even I think he has these tatted on his wrist, or like the bottom part of his hand or somewhere. At least he has them tatted, so this is obviously a big thing for him. And he again uses this metaphor, or this symbol rather, in this new thing as well. So I don't know what that can tell us about it. If you have any theories on that, please let me know in the comments, because that would really be interesting to see what maybe some more in-depth Logic stans really say about this. Another thing that we of course are going to talk about is the cover art, because he dropped that. He also released the cover art with this thing, which is to be seen at the end of that animation. The cover art is amazing. Like, this is again in the Bobby Tarantino styles, but somehow also unique with the red that he uses. Another reference that I also caught was that at the end of the trailer, Logic had it to be seen on the screen. That's like Logic presents Bobby Tarantino III, and it was then the same font and the same color as Supermarket. So maybe maybe that can tell us something, but I don't know. Maybe also judging from the new songs with the more singing voices in there, maybe he wants to make this like a fusion of Bobby Tarantino and the Supermarket soundtrack. But that's all up in the air. We don't really know. We have to wait and see about that. But let's talk about the album, the cover a little bit more, because that's really the interesting thing here. So in this cover, we can see a crashed car that says on its wheels Bobby Tarantino Ultra. Again, this is another hint at maybe Ultra 85 that's gonna drop with that intro track. We don't know. I'm probably gonna make some more videos on this because there's a lot of symbolic things in here that we can see. Also, the crashed car is probably a reference to the car that was used in the Bobby Tarantino II cover, where he sits with his now ex-wife, Jessica Andrea, and he's, driving in the car, and she has her hand on the stick, as he also used in a line, on the project, and maybe this time it crashed, and now he's revived as this mummified person, kind of climbing out of the rubble of the crash, holding up the number 3 again, symbolizing the third tape in this trilogy, or maybe just series. And we can also see a little bit more details in the kind of crash, the debris and all that. We can see books. One of them says death, and then something else that I can't really see. Maybe these are all references to new books that Bobby is gonna drop in the future. That's just something all that we don't really know yet. If any of you have more theories on what we can see from the cover art, please let me know, because Logic usually reveals a lot in his cover art, or at least for the people that are willing to look. He's always someone that is down to drop a couple Easter eggs and let people figure it out themselves, and I love that. And I caught a couple of things that I just told you, but there's a lot more to be said about this and to be interpreted than just the couple of things that I discovered. So please let me know if you found anything in maybe the animation that we've seen for the album announcement or the cover art in the comments, because that could just help all of us. And I'm really excited for this thing. The cover art is amazing. We know that at least Vaccine is going to be on there, because that was also used as he really did like a cool remix of the Vaccine beat with a more epic build up for the animation. So I think Vaccine is going to be used as like the promotional single for it. It didn't do too bad. It did like 5 million streams on Spotify, which is still pretty decent. But I think he would have wished for this thing to blow up more, but still it did pretty well in numbers. So this is going to be used as the official single for this thing, and everything else I just went over is everything else we know about it. So if we ever get the track list, I'm going to let y'all know. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter in the description, because that's also where I'm going to talk about this thing. And that's my thoughts on this. Now I want to know what you think about this. Are you excited for Bobby Tarantino 3? What'd you think of the animation, the release date this Friday, July the 30th? What do you think about the cover art? Do you have any more details you picked up on that you want to let the community know about? Please do so in the comments down below. And just your general thoughts on this, let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media and blog down in the description. It really helps me out. Until the next one, y'all have an incredible day, and y'all take care.